Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dana Rus. I am a lecturer in the Faculty of Engineering of the University of Medicine, Pharmacy Sciences and Technology. My guest this evening is visiting Professor Khalili, who works in the Department of Health, Science and Technology in ETH University in Zurich, Switzerland. Good evening and welcome. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation for tonight.
Not at all. Good evening to you and to all people who are watching this program.
Professor Khalili, I think we go back now a few years, because the first time I met you was at least 4, if not 5 years ago.
Even more, 5, 6 years ago, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes, and ever since, I think you have created a tradition in your coming again to the university on the occasion of an academic event where you disseminated the latest projects of your work. But before we talk about interdisciplinarity in engineering, which was the occasion which favored your presence here, I would like you to tell us in a few minutes some things about your biography, your professional profile.
All right, yeah, okay. I am a professor of mechanical engineering. I studied my first degree in mechanical engineering at the University of Amir Kabir in Iran, Tehran, and I got my master's degree and PhD degree both from United Kingdom, Manchester, University of Salford, long time ago. I was graduated in 1996. And for the last 25 years of my life, I've been doing teaching and research at the university, internationally at the University of Birjan, that is my home university. And now I am at ETH in Zurich, Switzerland, at the Department of Health and Science and Technology. I've been in this conference for many times, as you said.
Can you develop a little about what you do in the Health, Science and Technology department, about courses you teach or projects that you coordinate?
Right, yeah. As I said, I'm basically a mechanical engineer doing different disciplines in mechanical engineering. The one I am involved with is the 3D modeling, the modeling of the objects. So I take that subject to Department of Health and Science and Technology in Zurich. And what I'm doing now is just modeling the organs of the body, mainly the bones. And the bones for regeneration. I mean, we are trying to make a generic model of some bones that can be fitted to individuals. So that is the thing we are doing at the moment in University of Zurich, ETH. And I'm involved in a big group, biomechanic, the laboratory of movement, biomechanics. So there are many PhD students there, and professors, and many other researchers there.
Well, for a non-specialist, this sounds as if it has a lot of practical applicability.
Exactly, because it's involved in many medical things. For example, if you are going to have a surgery or implant, something like that in the knee or whatever place, then you need to have the 3D model to have a better information of the knee you are going to do the surgery on it or to do the implant. Yes, it's quite practical.
I would say this is very much in the line of the theme of our conference, which is called Interdisciplinarity in Engineering. Maybe if you can develop a little regarding your opinion about this interdisciplinarity in the approach of engineering nowadays.
All right, yeah. Engineering is not going to be the same as it was, say, 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Long time ago, the engineers had a very specific subject to work in: mechanical engineering, doing mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, doing electrical engineering. But now the need for the real world are much more wider, and the engineers have to work in different disciplines. They have to know different things from different subjects, and then put them together and make something practical, make something useful for the community. So it's not going to be the same for all days. The problem with the engineering is not just the product. Nowadays, the problem is the environment, the community. So you should think of community, the environment, not just your product.
Yeah, thank you. This is really useful, and from this point of view, your contribution in the papers of the conference is significant. Now, coming back to the conference, maybe not all the viewers know that this conference is the main event organized by our faculty, and we always welcomed and appreciated your contribution. Maybe you can tell us about the reasons which made you come to our university for the first time.
All right. The first time I was in Romania, actually it was in Cluj, and the next time I was in Târgu Mureș, this event, Intereng. And the first time I attended the conference was interesting to me because of being well-organized conference, and the publication is very good. It's indexed by databases like the publication is by Elsevier, which is very known in scientific community. So the publication, the organization, and the range of subject they cover, they are all nice, and of course the people are very nice. And the effort they have made to improve the quality of the conference, the quality of papers, and to get involved with international research around the world.
And do you see a development in terms of the themes approached during the conference, or some kind of progress in terms of its organization? Is there any change?
Yes, the first time the publication was not so wide, but now the publication is good. So you get citation from different researchers around the world because of the good publication they have. And the organization of the conference is getting better every time. For example, virtual sessions that make it easy for people who cannot get into the city, so they can do their contribution remotely. So those kind of things are improving the quality of the conference and make it more visible to other researchers.
For you personally, which are the benefits of your participation in our conference, personally or professionally?
Well, it's manifold, because I have the chance to see other people in different places doing research. It's an opportunity to talk to them face to face. And the other thing is the publication. When you present a paper, it is published, and it gets cited by many researchers because it's published very well. This is why I'm attending this conference, and of course the nice people. You know, I've been welcomed every time being here, so this is why I've been here for, I think, the five times I've been here, and this time in here again, and I will come back again, I'm sure, because I like it.
That was actually my following question, if you intend to continue the tradition.
Yes, I will do it, because I like Romania, I like Târgu Mureș, I like the university. Well, we started with the University of Petromaior, and the new name now, as you call it, the University of Medicine, Pharmacy, Science and Technology of Târgu Mureș.
Yeah, it is more comprehensive, and it offers more chances of interdisciplinarity, talking about
that's
the topic
right, yeah, that's right.
of the conference.
Yeah, bigger university, so when you are a bigger university, you get a higher rank in terms of international university rankings.
I know that you were, for a time, head of the international department in your home university. Maybe it would be interesting to talk about your approach towards this and how you see, what advantages you see in international relations between universities?
Well, university is university, so you can't be a university without having relationship with other universities around the world, with the other research institutions. And it's important for the students, for the scholars, for the academics to be in contact with other research institutes, to be updated and be at the edge of the knowledge. So international activities are the most important things in being updated with the research and the ranking of the university. There are many items that is important to get a high ranking, and international activities is one of those. So the number of conferences you hold, the number of exchange program you have. So this is why it is important to have international relationship, international cooperation, contracts, MOUs between different universities, and exchange of scholars. In my opinion, a good university is a university where at least 25% of academics are outside university doing research in another university. And at the same time, you have some people from other university in your university.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Can you compare the situation from this point of view in Iran and in Romania or in Switzerland, whichever sounds more familiar?
Right. I'm familiar with the situation in Iran and a bit about Switzerland and a bit about Romania. In Iran it's different because the international relationship is not so easy because of political problems in Iran. So it's not just university, it depends on other things. But the universities are trying to improve, to establish international relationship with other universities, but sometimes it may not go well because of some problem in terms of higher level decisions made by authorities. But the universities are trying to expand their international relationships. And as you may know, we had an MOU and contract between the University of Birjan and the University of Turku. It was signed 2 years ago. At the time, I was the president of the University of Birjan, and I signed the agreement with the president of the university here. And the contract was very good. It went to practice, and we did have some exchange programs, and some scholars from Iran to here and from here to Iran, and it was good, and in the frame of Erasmus+. In Romania, I'm aware of having the universities having relationship with many other European universities. That is very good. In Switzerland, it's of course is much wider. So, for example, in ETH, you have so many foreigners, so many overseas students from everywhere, from United States, from Europe, from Asia, from China, and many professors are from other countries. So it's completely an international university.
Speaking of internationalization of the universities, this is really a very topical subject, and our university is definitely making efforts in this respect. Can you tell me your opinion about the advantages of having international students or sending your students in a foreign university? What would they gain? What would be the mutual gain?
It's mainly the culture, because I believe science has no border. Mm. So if you want peace, if you want sustainable peace, then the best way is to get merged. And one way is to have the exchange program with students. So the students come to the another university, another country, that they get to know the country, the culture, the people, and that brings the peace, a sustainable peace. That's the most important part of it. And the other part is for the university, for the science. So when they go to other university, they see how they approach a problem, how they solve it, what kind of equipment, what kind of facilities they have, and that will make some experience for them to take those to their home university and apply those in their own university.
Returning a little to the main topic of the conference, which was Industry 4.0, but without going into the details of the concept, which is, I think, still under construction. I'm interested in whether some of the principles of Industry 4.0, mainly the desire and the need to have digitalization and interconnectivity of things, can be applied to teaching or education in general.
Of course, I'm not expert in this area, but the thing is, the world is going to change because of so much data around the globe, and the future is the data science and digitalization, and you need platforms to make use of this information for every industry, including education, engineering education, or whatever.
Are the situations similar in Switzerland and Romania from this point of view?
Well, possibly I'm not the right person to talk about this, but from my understanding, well, Switzerland is more open to many international programs, but I'm not sure. I'm sure Romania is making improvement, and I see much efforts being paid toward this. For example, for this conference, I can see so much efforts from the international office, from the vice rector office for research, and as far as I know, they gained higher ranking and they are improving every year, and I'm sure they will go up, and they will gain a good ranking.
Hopefully. I would like to quote now a report drawn by the Dell Technologies and Institute for the Future, and according to them, 85% of the jobs which will exist in 2030 are not invented yet. And what I'm thinking of is our role as teachers and educators. How do we really prepare students? And I'm talking about you as a mechanical engineer. You are training future mechanical engineers. How difficult or challenging is it to train students for a future which is still uncertain?
Well, the first thing is to get yourself familiarized with the trend and with the things that are coming, and then try to make those things in education, in doing courses for the students. It's not an easy job because you need to know, you need to get familiar with the things that are coming yourself first, and then pass it to the student.
Do you think something will change in engineering education in the future as a result of this contextual situation?
Well, I suppose so, yes, because so much facilities, so much things that can be done virtually or can be shared by many people around the world. So it's not going to be in one place. So university could be everywhere. It doesn't have to have a physical place to have students there. It could be anywhere in the universe and have students from around the world.
As an engineer, maybe you can go back a little at the beginning of your career, and maybe it will be interesting for future engineers to learn some things about the reasons which made you choose this career, which is not easy, I would say, but it is definitely rewarding.
Well, just the interest. The word I would say is, if I go back, say, 40 years, 30-something years ago, I will decide to go to study mechanical engineering again. I'm very happy to study mechanical engineering. I liked it, and I do like it now, and this is why I study mechanical engineering.
So you would do it again?
Yes, if I have the opportunity.
Now you have a lot of experience, both theoretical and practical experience. Can you draw a portrait of the engineer? Which are the main qualities that an engineer should have? A good one.
A good one. Well, strong in principle in mathematics and physics, communicative, and deep into data science.
I was also interested in some advice that you might give to people who are training to be engineers. What should they focus on? What should their main interest be on?
They think of the quality of the life and what the community asks them for. So they should not just think about the principle, they know about it. They should ask the community, the world, what they need to make life easier, and then convert it to an engineering problem, question, and then try to make a solution. That's the most important thing. And that is the difference between engineering and the science. An engineer is someone who makes life easier for people.
Talking about engineering, which do you consider to be the most important challenges that engineering faces nowadays?
Keeping environment safe.
This is a very topical question. There are really hot debates about this. Maybe you can develop a little. How exactly can engineering contribute to protecting the environment, or at least reducing the level of pollution?
Well, the material, the one thing is the material. They should produce materials that is recycled and no residual. And the energy, less energy consumption, and less fossil energy. And what more is make cooperation and try to make use of the existing facilities, not just trying to make a new one, just try to use existing equipment, existing facilities, and take advantage of them.
Engineering is largely practical, and it's deeply connected to a lot of other domains of a community, as you also said. Can you talk a little about the connection between the study of engineering and the industrial domain in terms of the implication of the academics? So how far should the academics or the universities get involved in partnerships with the economic environment, the industrial environment?
Well, this is the essential part of the program for an engineering course, I suppose, because the engineers have to know the industry, otherwise they will go to the books and they will try to make things as they like it or as they learn it. So they should go to practice to the industry and see what the actual problem is, and the motivation should come from industry to engineering, and engineering resolve the problem and send it back to the industry. So there has to be a good connection between the universities, engineering faculties, and the industry, and work together. And one way is the trainee programs, during which students spend some time in industry and get involved in industrial activities, in manufacturing activities or whatever. And then they have a feeling of the practical problem existing in the industry, and then bring it to the engineering solution.
Can you tell us how this problem, or not problem, just topic, is dealt with in Iranian universities? What kind of contacts there are between universities and the economic or the industrial environment?
Right. There are different programs. One program is the students, after they've not finished in the third year and first degree, they go to training program in industry, and the industry support it. And they, for example, pay for 2-3 months as a limited salary for them to be in industry and do something and get some experience. Of course, the industry itself does not pay, the government pay. And the students spend some time within a factory or industrial place. This is one program. The other program are the research grants that is made by Ministry of Industry and Trade, to make connection between industries and universities. And of course there are other programs within university, grants within the university to do research on practical things in engineering.
We have already discussed about the importance of having internationalization of universities. Now I'm thinking whether this trend could also be applied to the practical parts of engineering. Do you think it would be useful or feasible to have students from one university, one country, having practical training in other countries?
Well, it would be nice, but it is more difficult to have students from different parts of the world to go to industry to another country because of the level of communication they need. The language could be a problem, so it is a bit more difficult. But there are programs, as you know, but I'm not sure if it is the first approach. I think the first approach is to get to know the industry, and the second level is go to industry in other countries. So the most important thing for engineer is to know the practical problem in industry and in general, and then it would be a good experience to go to other places and see what kind of problem they have and how they solve it and get some experience.
In nowadays world, I think the career of an engineer is among the most popular ones, and we can only be happy about this because we have now a lot of young people who come to the university trying to follow an engineering career. My question would be if there is a connection, or you can see a connection between being an engineer and being a leader, given the importance of the status of an engineer in nowadays world.
Well, leaders come from humanities, not from engineering. Well, they could be leader in their subject, in their specialty, but I'm not sure about if you are talking about leadership in other areas. But if you are talking about leadership about their specialty, of course, everybody can be leader in his own or her own specialty. But engineers are not taught for being leader for general things. They are just taught to do the engineering things. Well, and have some understanding from the community, but again, it's mainly focused on engineering problems and how to solve it.
I ask you this question having in mind that, at least from my perception, to be an engineer, you need a certain mindset, a very practical approach to things.
That's right, yeah.
And on the other hand, engineering involves communicating and a lot of teamwork. And I think to be a good team member or a team leader, you need to have a list of qualities which up to one point are similar to that of a leader. That's why I asked you this.
Well, yes, you are right, because somehow engineers are multidisciplinary thinking because they have different dimensions of thinking. That's the good thing about engineers. And again, for communication, not all of them, but many of them have to have communication skills to do the job, but not all of engineers, because some engineers just do think with machines. But some others do, communication, for example, for selling products or distributing products or making relationship between their own factory to others. They have to have become very communicative. On that aspect, yes, they are, but they need more skills to learn and then go for leadership.
Yes, this is definitely not enough, but it's a good start.
That's right, yeah, exactly.
How do you personally explain this growing popularity of engineering? If you agree that there is a growing popularity of engineering.
I'm not sure if a growing popularity, at least in Iran, it's not anymore, because many engineers now in Iran and they are not employed. So at these days, the youngs don't like to go to engineering anymore. It used to be a very high well-paid job in Iran, but not anymore. I'm not sure about other countries, but some subjects in engineering, like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, things like that, are not that easy courses. So not many youngs like to go to those courses, but the people who go to those courses are, well, of course, they are interested and they will get good job, I suppose, but I'm not sure about different countries. It's completely different in different countries. For example, back home in Iran, the medical studies are more interesting for people than engineering these days. It used to be engineering a long time ago, but not anymore. We have so many graduated engineers in Iran. And I have had many students at first degree, master degree, PhD degree. Currently I have 15. I have graduated 15 PhD students, and currently have 3 PhD students in international universities, one in Switzerland, one in Italy, one in Finland, and I'm supervising jointly PhD students. And they can find job easily in Europe but not in Iran. They cannot find a job in Iran, even though high quality, high qualification and good degree in mechanical engineering. They don't get a job in Iran. So, but if they want to get a job in Europe, it's not that difficult.
I see. I suppose there are waves or trends regarding the popularity of different professions.
That's right,
maybe dictated by economic reasons or social ones or even cultural ones.
That's right, yeah.
As far as I know, in Romania, there is a growing demand for engineers.
All right. And you know, Romania and Iran, long time ago, had a good relationship, industrial relationship, and two factories, one from Romanian company in Iran and one from Iranian company in Romania. And I'm not sure about these days, but we know Romanian engineers as good engineers.
We like to think that, but probably they are tested after they graduate university at the workplace. I think that's where you prove whether you are or not a good engineer, and I can just hope that our engineers prove to be what it takes.
Yes, they are. They are.
In the end of our discussion, I would like to end it in a more light-hearted way. And maybe you can share some of your experiences with Romanian culture. Maybe you can tell me some things that you liked or you didn't, or maybe some things that you were surprised by, you didn't expect.
Well, the first impression I had from Romania was the first time I was in Bucharest asking for an address. It was around 10 o'clock at night, and it was dark street, and I was struggling to find the hotel. And an elderly woman with her husband was walking and asked the address. They could not speak English very well, but the woman tried to make sure I'm in hotel. So he asked his husband, look, wait, we need to show the hotel to this man. And he took my hand, and until she put me on the hotel, make sure everything is okay, she didn't go. That was the first impression. And this is why I like Romania. I've been in Romania many times, 5, 6 times. The people are very nice, very, very nice, very kind. As soon as you ask them a question, they will try to answer the question to help you to their full capacity. And the nature is very nice, good lands, and the weather is nice. Yeah, everything is nice, I suppose. I like it.
Yeah, I think of course, we come from different cultures, but as you said, there are a lot of things which bring us together beyond what sets us apart. And I am wondering if you can find some things which are similar in Romanian and Iranian culture, in terms of the way people behave, or
again, in Iran, as soon as they find a foreigner, they will try to help him. They want to make sure he or she is okay with everything, and they don't like to give the guests bad impression. That we call it somehow like people, guest-friendly people, I would call it, in both cultures.
This is universal, I think.
Not really, no. No. I've been in many different countries around the globe, so it's not universal. For sure, it's not that universal.
Yeah, so then it should be, if it's
well,
not.
It should be, yeah.
And it's always nice when you see behavioral patterns that you're used to, and then maybe this makes you feel a little like home.
That's right, yeah.
Well, anyway, after 6 years of coming here, maybe you feel slightly at home, and we will definitely try to improve this in the years to come. Thank you very much for coming here today and for sharing so many interesting things about your professional and personal life. We hope to see you again in the future events that we are organizing, and I wish you a lot of success in your activity.
Thank you very much. I would also like to thank you for all your efforts, the University of Petromayor, and now the new name, the University of, it's very difficult for me to say
it's a long name.
Yeah, Medicine, Pharmacy, Science and Technology of Turkmenistan, especially people at the Faculty of Engineering and Information Technology, the Vice Rector, Prof. Moldovan, the International Office, and all people in the university. Very, very dynamic, friendly environment. I appreciate that. And this is why I will come back again.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again here at your earliest convenience.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, thank you very much for watching the show, and we wish you a pleasant evening.